My beautiful friends, give me a second here. Okay. This stock market, I've said this before, but today almost takes the cake. It's a literal crime scene. It's a crime scene. I'm going to start off this post-market wrap-up again on this Thursday, April 25th, 2019 with that. Why would Greg be saying that? Well, at one point today, the Dow Jones Industrial Average was down nearly 300 points. Well, how many of you would be shocked to find out that it only finished down 130 points or so, something like that? I'm sure most of you won't at all be surprised at that. The S&P 500, a fractional loss. NASDAQ positive. The Russell 2000 cut its losses in half. I bought dips all day long with regard to the Russell 2000. I'm going to be honest with you here. And I'll tell you how this plays out. Either I'm going to make an obscene amount of money here, or I'm going to lose a lot if I get this wrong here. But let's just look at the action of this market. Number one, let's forget the market for a moment. In the video I did this morning, I explained to you that despite the sell-off we were seeing this morning, which wasn't even as bad as it got during the middle of the day, the bond market was stable. No major safety play going on here. Like I said, looks like a blip on the radar screen to me. I'm not even sure what's driving a lot of this, I'll be honest with you. But just looking at the bond market, saying the bond market's like, okay, so what? So what? It's the bond market is kind of sitting there laughing. Again, the bond market is the largest aspect of this market, and it's never wrong. Never wrong. Maybe we'll talk about that in a moment too. But again, so look what happened. So the bond market was telling us this morning, hey, nothing really big going on despite the pressure stocks were under. Dow down nearly 300 points. Bonds aren't doing much of anything. And then all of a sudden, like the cavalry, a surge of buying comes in, lifts stocks off their lows. It's a crime scene. It's a freaking crime scene. I don't know another way to put it. It's a joke. Let's address the bond market issue again, and gold and silver too, because if you recall the video I did yesterday, HR 5404, the bill that's out there that's never going to happen. Some people took this the wrong way. But before we get there, let's talk about the bond market. Look, you all know, at least you should, if you've been following my work for all these years, how to read the bond market. It's uncanny. It's so accurate. I mean, look, nothing is written in stone. But if you sit there and can understand what the bond market is doing, you will see more than likely what the stock market is going to do. Understand? It's so simple. Now, there is going to come a time when all this rate suppression and rigging is going to snap back. I've covered this at length so many times. A massive sell-off is going to happen in the bond market at one point. I think it's unstoppable. The debt market is in the largest bubble that has ever been witnessed in the history of mankind, bar none, period, the end. What we know about all bubbles is this: they all burst, despite every effort to keep them inflated. That's the truth. And there's an enormous amount of effort into keeping this bubble inflated, subsequently pulling the stock market with it, real estate values with it, causing distortions across the spectrum of asset classes like we have never seen before in world history. And if President Trump gets his wish, and I think he's going to, 2 times he came out asking the Fed for more quantitative easing. Again, quantitative easing is an emergency measure where central banks just print epic sums out of thin air and buy the debt. Keeps everything propped up. He needs this to win the election. I think he's going to win anyway, and I told you why. Never in history, never before in history has corporate America gotten richer faster under any president. Where are they going to put their cash to work? Under some new guy? To support some candidate they don't know? Of course not. They're going to try to keep the guy in there who's making them richer. Again, it's a game. And unfortunately, when this corrects the fair value, All of those out here with 401k plans and plans that only make money when the market goes up are going to be fleeced, and I mean fleeced. Because they're always the last person out the door when the market drops. Look, the Federal Reserve, along with whoever sits in the pretty White House, has to play the game. And they are serial bubble blowers. It's a wealth transfer mechanism. One group to the other. I'm not making this up. This is a repetitive pattern that has gone on since when? Time immemorial. And it will not stop. This bubble is the mother of them all. No doubt about it. Market makes no sense, but that's just the way it is. No, gold and silver. Some people think, I don't know how they got this one, that I said in my video about HR 5404 that people should not be buying gold and silver. I said specifically, bet against the debt, become your own central bank. Gold and silver are the most undervalued assets in the history of this world. Of the universe. That's the truth. They keep printing cash out of thin air, buying debt, diluting the dollar, and what happens? Gold and silver get hit. Gold and silver get hit. Why? It's the paper derivative market. I explained to you how this works in a recent video. Please watch it. I outlined for you exactly how they rig it. If you haven't seen that video, just look for it on my channel. I'm not going to cover it again. So look, this market is a crime scene. There is no doubt about it. They will prop up the stock market no matter what gets thrown at it. Today, this market wanted to sell off for no reason. Look, that's the scary part. When you see a market do what it did today, selling off, they were trying to blame it on 3M, one stock, a Dow component, nonetheless, yeah. All the market's selling off. Even the Russell 2000, the small caps. It's all because of 3M. It's all because of it. You know that. That's the narrative. Oh, no. Look here. Look, I think you get it, but it's very simple to understand here. When a market sells off for no apparent reason, like it did today, it's trying to determine fair value. It's not allowed to do it. It will not be allowed to do it. And the real sell-off is going to begin in the debt market. When bonds start to sell off rapidly and yields spike, that's when you run to the hills. Until then, you buy every freaking dip that comes along. You buy every dip that comes along. I hope I'm right with what I did today, because, well, that's okay. Look, if I lose that trade, that's life in the big city. I really can't complain. I've increased my portfolio this year alone to heights that I wasn't doing too good towards the beginning of the year. I even posted that. I said, hey, I'm not doing too good this year. I'm up, but not like I've been doing. And then I got to surge higher. Hey, if I got to give a little back, I'll give a little back. It's a game of give and take. What isn't in life? You know that. Excuse me. So with that said, I got a little surprise for you. This guy will not be here tomorrow. I am taking this Friday off. I will do a markets, a look ahead segment over the weekend in this lovely spot, but tomorrow there's just no way out of. I got to take care of something. I will not be doing a blog here tomorrow, and I hope you will forgive me on that. I will make it up to you, at least I hope so. So with that said, we're going to end today with my usual, just like it was a Friday. People, watch this market. Pay attention to the rigging. Watch that bond market. You know all this. You know how to beat the system over the long run. Bet against the debt. Become your own central bank. Let them play their games. We are going to play ours. Now, with that all said, please share this video. How's that? Before I let you go. Get it out there. Let people hear this stuff. Love each other. Care about each other. And be charitable. I'll see you over the weekend. More than likely on Sunday to do my markets, a look ahead segment. And it's going to be just lovely. See you then.